Go.
Okay, so you saw Paul unwrapping the Mr. D's thermal cooker earlier. So we're just going to knock up a quick chicken dish. Everything all in one pot. It's called Diet Cola Chicken. And I'll run through the ingredients later. But first of all, you need to pop your olive oil in your pan and start it going. Next thing we need is our chicken, just so that we can get it nicely browned off. I'm using boneless chicken thighs because it's got more flavour. It's a lot better than just normal chicken breast. You can see the meat's a bit darker. So we'll start that cooking. Just get it nice and coated so it's not going to stick. And like you say, we're not cooking the chicken through, we're just sealing it basically. Next set of ingredients to go in with our chicken is going to be our red onions. Just one large one chopped up. And you can hear it starting to sizzle. I always find the best thing to do is make everything up prior to doing something, so that's your mise en place, do all your chopping, everything else. In here is the secret sauce recipe, which is Diet Coke, chicken stock, soya sauce, Worcestershire sauce, crushed garlic, and I think that was about it. I'll check in later on the recipe.
But no longer a secret sauce.
No. No longer a secret sauce. So we've been watching a few recipes on how to cook with these thermal cookers, and I think the basic thing that you need to do is get lots and lots of heat into whatever you're cooking prior to popping it in the thermos, and then the thermos will do the rest with no electricity, no gas. Perfect. We're doing this at home at the moment, but if you were going to do this as you're going out for a picnic or anything for the day, you would do all of this in the morning, pop it in your thermos, pop your thermos in your car, away you go, and then you've got some lovely hot food for whenever you get to where you're going to. Perfect. So at this point I'm just going to pop in some peppers, and the recipe doesn't ask for potatoes, but I'm a great believer in one pot cooking, so I've got some lovely nice fresh new potatoes in there. We'll just get that in so it can coat and start it cooking a little bit. I would have said this part of the cooking process would be around about 15 minutes, because you're going to chuck everything in. Once you put the liquid in, you're going to bring it to boil for around about 8 minutes, then put it down to simmer for about 5, and then pop it in the thermal cooker. Like I say, this is the first time I've ever done it. I reckon we're going to leave it in the thermal cooker for 3 hours and see how it is, only because we'll be hungry by then. So we'll leave that to cook. It's gone to quite a high heat. The only last thing I'm going to chuck in there are some mushrooms. You can put some salt and pepper in. Just to give it a nice bit of seasoning. Although you've got some soya sauce and Worcestershire sauce in your main sauce, so that should be enough seasoning to get it going. The chicken's starting to seal off and become a nice white colour on the outside, which is what you're looking for. And the vegetables will just be cooking in the heat in the thermos, and they should be nice and tender by the time you come to cooking it, heating it, sorry. Like I said, we bought this predominantly so we could use it on our boat, because it's ideal. You don't have any cooking smells throughout the day like you would with a slow cooker. And using a slow cooker uses a lot of heat and electricity. And on a boat, unless you've got solar panels, your inverter's going to be whirring 10 times to the dozen. And again, it just saves on calorie gas, because otherwise you'd have put this in the oven on a low heat for a good hour and a half, and that would take up quite a bit of gas. So that's why we bought it, and hopefully it's going to do what it says on the tin. Okay, so we've got a lot of heat going into our chicken and our vegetables. I've still not put the sauce in yet. I thought I would run through what we've put in there. So in the sauce, you've got 2 tablespoons full of Worcester sauce, 4 tablespoons of tomato puree, 8 tablespoons of passata, a tablespoon of dark soy sauce, and a can of Diet Coke, or 330 millilitres, and 200 millilitres of chicken stock. And what I forgot to put in are some mixed herbs. Okay, so there's a lot of heat already in there. What we need to do then is pour in our sauce. That does look like a lot of liquid, but what you can do is we can thicken it up towards the end of the cooking just with some corn flour and some water. But I think you'll find it'll be fine. So what we're going to do then is, as most of the recipes have said with cooking with these thermosks, is to make sure you give it a 10-minute boil, just so that it creates all of that heat in there prior to being shut away in its little jacket in the thermos. Okay, so you can see that it's been doing a rigorous boil for around about 5 minutes now. And what we're going to do is pop on the lid, and then we're going to turn it down to a medium simmer, and we're going to do that for another, I'd say 6-7 minutes, and then it's going to go straight in there, the lid's going to go on, and then we're just going to leave it to cook for a few hours. Okay, so we've finished cooking. It's on the cooker top. I'll just show you. As you can see, it's quite a vigorous boil. All we're going to do now is pop it into the thermos and close the lid, and that's it. That's as much cooking as you do. Like I say, it's really portable. It's totally sealed. You can take that in the car, take it anywhere. Just leave it on something that you can have, like a trivet or a board, and don't be tempted to open it. I'm going to leave that for two and a half hours. Nothing's going to ruin. It's just going to get nicer. There you go.